Let's get ready to rumble! Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are bringing you a video today of the most common asked questions for Lord of the Rings Rise to War, the mobile game. There's a couple of them. It's going to be a bit of a long video, so I will have timestamps down below in the description for each question. So without further ado, let's get to it. Number one common question that we seem to be receiving is when you're in the barracks and you recruit troops, people are like, I'm losing resources, I'm not getting the troops. So here's what happens. I'm going to click the conscript button. I'm going to select these guys. As you can see, I have no units whatsoever of these guys. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to slide over. I'm going to put 100. I hit the OK button. That's the resource it's going to use. It's going to take 20 minutes. I'm going to edit the videos and fast forward through this. So it's going to take 20 minutes to conscript all 100 of these. As you can see, 0. It's going to take 20 minutes. When we get to the halfway point, around the 10-minute mark, we're going to receive 50 of these units. So without further ado, and here we are. We have gone, what was that, 13, 14-ish minutes into this build of almost 21 minutes. And as you can see, we now have reserves of 50 right here. We conscripted 100, so we're making 100, but they've already given us 50. So if I click on these, bam, right there, there's 50. You guys saw earlier in the video, there was a 0 there, 0 across the board. Now there's 50 because it comes in increments. So for mount units, it comes in 50s. For ground units like these, it comes in 100s because that's one command. So like this, it's 50 per command, so you get one command. We're making 2 commands, so it gives us 1 when it's ready, and then 2 once it's fully done. And as you can see by the final product, we now have 100 scouts here that we can use. We started with 0, then we got 50 halfway through the build time of the troops. It's finished, we now have 100. You would only see 100 if I didn't put 50 already with a commander. Because you can send them to resupply your commanders at the same time they're being built, as long as you get 50 at a time for mounted units and 100 because that's one command point worth. So like if I had these guys, I would send out 1, as you can see I already have some, but they're all with commanders. None of them are here in reserve. They're all with a commander and they're not in the hospital. So that's 1. Let's move on. Alright, so for most common question number 2, we're going to go here to healing troops, otherwise known as wounded troops. You can see I have 102 and 49. I can select all and treat. Now, this is different from the barracks. Here, I have to wait till they are all done. I will not get them until all 102 and 49 are completed. Once they are done, I will get them. Until then, I get nothing from here. It's completely different from the barracks. The barracks, I get them as they come off the line, whether it's in a 50 or 100. That's how I get them. When I'm healing troops, I have to wait till they're all done in order to get them. So without further ado, moving on to 3 is my settlement. You can see the yellow ring. That's the limit of exportation that I can have. This little yellow dot thing on the map right here, that's where I'm located right now. As we go back, I'm with Boromir. You can see him right here. So if I was to click on this tile and click the attack button, right off the bat, it says right up here on top, out of range. If I was to click on Boromir, we now have this yellow line that appears. That is the limit of exportation. So this is the furthest I can go with the tile because he's located in my settlement. So I need to build a fort in order to extend it and then reposition him in there. So how do you do that? We're going to back out of here. Click on the tile that Boromir is located on. We have a build button. We're going to click on the build button. It gives you a little tip here as well. Does it not go forward? Oh, there we go. I have to slide on computer. It tells you how to do it. Deploy army from settlement to fort. March from fort to the next tile. So it shows us right here. I'll show you later on in the video as well. Next stage, same thing right here. And it's basically a 50 tile from fort or settlement. So we have options. So I can either build, relocate, which I'm not able to, as I need 3x3 and a bunch of other abilities in order to do that, and the reposition token. Right here are a couple of them. As you can see, I would need to own all 3 of those tiles in order to relocate. And I need a relocation token as well as making sure no resource tiles. So as you can see, all these are red right now. So I can't do relocate, fortress. I'm not the leader of my clan, but this is what you would need if you were the leader to build a fortress. You would need a 2x2, otherwise known as this tile here. As you can see, it's not an actual 1x1 tile. You can't have these 4 tiles and then build a fortress for your fellowship or a warband. I would need this tile up here because it's a 2x2 and it's a resource tile, and that would give me a green check here. I would be able to do that then, but you also have to meet these requirements down here, and it's fairly costly as a leader to do it and then destroy stuff and do that. So you have to either be a leader or one of the basically captains, we call them, in your fellowship or warband. But we'll cover that later on. I'm not going to cover that. Relocate, we will at some point. In a later video, I'll do the relocate thing for you. When I do that, it will probably be a while, like over a week. But for now, we're going to focus on a fort. So in here, once you name it, caps lock's on. Once you name it, you can't change it. So right now I put Boo in there. If I hit the build button, that fort is going to stay named Boo forever. Boo. So we're going to hit build. It's going to take 2 hours. You can't speed up the initial one, which is good because then you have these pay whales. They can't just all of a sudden move like no tomorrow. The first one, 2 hours. We'll come back. I'll show you the rest of the video. So you can't do that. You can speed up other ones. So like once this fort's built, it will give me an option to upgrade or whatever. I can do that. So the first one, you have to wait the 2 hours. So we're building a fort here, and then the radius will extend. I'll show you how to do the next step so you're going to take advantage of that once this is built. Something they've changed from the beta to this game, something we asked for, was if our character was sitting on this tile, as you guys saw earlier in the video, our character now automatically goes into the fort if he was sitting on this tile when the fort is built. As I click on it, you can see he's in there. Right over here in the bottom, you can see right there, he's in this position. So if I wanted to do this, I can do this now. Just like that. And he attacks, he continues on, as you guys saw in the earlier video. The yellow line was right here and whatnot. Now if I wanted to bring somebody else here, I would reposition them by just doing that. And then clicking this button down here in the right corner. It does take stamina because it is moving them, but they move at like 100 more, like faster than their normal rate. So that's how you would get more here. You can also hit the upgrade button here, and we'll bring this up. As you can see what the advantages are. Brings another spot for a commander. Upgrade costs. Alright, so that was a long one for 3. So common question number 4 is what gets reset. So on your screen right here in the top, you're going to have a different symbol depending on what fraction you're playing. You click on it, you're going to come over here to target at the bottom. Click on target, and then up here in the top you're going to see information, and then season 1 is here. You're going to go to after this season, and in here it will tell you what you're going to be retaining after this season, and we'll be telling you what gets reset for the new season. So that's that. So without further ado, let's move on to question 5. So for question 5, another sort of common question is how do I level up equipment? So if you come over here to the commander tab, we already know these two commanders that I have are not in the settlement. So if I come down here to Barrowmere or Higon, I just click on the equipment gear that I want to level. There's going to be a pop-up here, and it's going to say strengthen or unequip. If I went like this, clicked on another piece, I would get this option to swap if I wanted to, but I don't want to. I want to strengthen, so I hit the strengthen button, and then in this screen we're going to click this little plus sign at the bottom, and in here it will give us all the equipment we can choose from. I'm going to click on the meal mite because I won't be using it on any commanders. I click the OK button, and then from here I hit forge. Once I do that, the meal weapon gear disappears. It's going to be forged into the weapon I have selected. Right there, you can see it has now upgraded from 6 to 7, 9 to 11. And if I did it again, it would go 7 to 9, 11 to 14. But this time I would need 2 pieces of equipment. And for the next one, I would need 3 pieces of equipment. So that's how you level your gear. Alright, so for common question number 6, it's a two-parter. How do you join a fellowship or a warband, and how do you leave one? So over here in the fraction in the chat, so you got world fraction, so everyone that's playing Agmir right now. Down here in the warband, you just come down here. There's some open warbands, some not. I'm going to join this one. I think that's French or Spanish. I'm going to join it. Request approved. I'm now in one. And that shows the basics. Down here is the other stuff. This shows the level. You need to be level 10 in order to make forts and whatnot. So when you're in here, if I want to leave one, I come down to member. Sorry, first there's a store, but we have to reach level 10 first. Same with fortress. You need to be level 10, 20 to unlock more. So as a member, click on member. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to find myself. Over here beside my name, there's 3 little dots. I'm going to hit the 3 little dots. It will give me the option to leave this warband, which I'm going to do. So you hit the leave button. There's going to be, oh, it's a 2-hour cooldown. Okay, so there's a 2-hour cooldown. I thought it was more than that. And now I'm no longer in a warband. As you can see, this pops back up. I can create or join one after 2 minutes. Invites, there's been no invitations for someone to invite me to their warband. So that's that. Moving on to question number 7. Alright, so for common question 7, how to take a tile when it's overwhelming, when you don't have quite enough power in your commander to do it. So this tile is level 35 with 2 commanders. So when I go to attack, my Eowyn isn't strong enough to defeat both of them and take this tile by herself, so I need some assistance. So I'm going to send 2 commanders. I could send as many as I want. I could send all my commanders if I wanted to, but I'm going to send Aragon. He's going to assist in this. Eowyn's going to... Oh, we met trolls first. Uh-oh. So Eowyn's going up first. So we look at the report. She got a draw. We know that right off the bat. So this is what's going to happen. So Aragon, when he gets here, he's going to be taking on 57 of these guys. And Eowyn is at half number. So we could do... make her fall back. We would make her do this. And I can do this with a speed token. So she's there quicker. I can replace her because there's a draw. So I know right off the bat I'm probably going to need more than what was there. So it's going to take 4 minutes for those 3 emplacements to get here. It takes her about 2 minutes to walk here. The tile recovers in 15 minutes. So I should have plenty of time to be able to send her back here after Aragon has defeated the first commander, as we see here. He should be able to defeat that guy. And then he'll start on the second commander that's here. So, he lost. All right. Yeah, 2 battles. Yeah, 2 battles. So, the first one, he won. those are the results of the first one. Same numbers. And then this is the second one that he went in. He went up against trolls and archers, so that wasn't a good matchup because he didn't really have a lot. But he weakened it enough that Eowyn, now that she's fully healed, should be able to take this guy on. But yeah, that's the number. That's where it left off. And he carried on with the fight. So we're back here. Eowyn's made it to the second time. As you can see, we started off where we left off. So Eowyn was able to defeat the tile. So this was her initial attack. Aragon came in, cleaned up, started the battle with the next guy. And then Eowyn came in again after we resupplied her and replenished her troops. She came in and destroyed the tile, finishing it for us and claiming the tile for us. So that is how you take a tile. When your commander can't take out both, you just use more commanders. But you have to be within a certain range. You can't expect to have your level 20 commanders come at this tile. Just because you have 6 of them doesn't mean they're going to win. That's a huge difference in between numbers. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. As long as you're somewhat close, like level 35, my Eowyn's 37, so like you could do this with like a level 34 Eowyn, but you would need to be one of those pay whales that has a lot of money that has paid for gear to have better gear for her, because right now her gear for me is blue. So yeah, there's that. Hopefully you guys enjoy. That's the 7 most common questions we seem to be coming across. There are others, don't get me wrong, there are other questions out there, but those are the most common questions we seem to be getting. So hopefully this helps you guys answer some of those and understand what's going on with those, and is a better guide rather than spamming the Discord and Facebook constantly every hour with the same questions. So don't forget, go check out their Facebook page. I'll have a link down below. And don't forget, I'm also on TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. There we go. So go hit me up there. And don't forget, smash that like button down below. And until next time, stay safe. And as always, have fun.